You're listening to 91.9 FM WCAL, California, Pennsylvania.
Cali's best music.
You're tuned into Just Ed with Just Pop Punk, and today we've got special guests on air. We've got Mercedes and Phoenix from Courage My Love. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're pretty good. How about you?
Hey.
We're doing great. So you guys are going to be coming to Cal U at the end of April 25th. So how do you feel about that?
Pretty excited. We found out about the show a while ago, and we love playing the school shows and stuff because the vibe is always super fun.
Have you done many before?
I don't think we've even been to California, PA before. Like, we've been to PA before, but not California, PA. Yeah. We've never been to this school, so this is just going to be a first time for everybody. Yeah.
Have you done many other college shows at all, or just a few here and there?
Only in Canada. So this is our first USA college show.
Well, that's exciting.
So yeah, it's very exciting.
We'll have to make sure that we promote that then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
So you guys a few years ago played Warped at Sea. What was that like compared to doing the normal tour?
It was really cool. It was definitely different because, obviously it's on a cruise ship, not in a parking lot. So main difference right there.
Definitely a better view.
No, it was really, it was cool because we got to meet a lot of cool bands and just have a good experience. And it was our birthday too because it was over Halloween. So that was fun because we just got to have a cruise ship birthday.
Phoenix is it was obviously super fun because a lot of bands brought their families too, just because it's hey, honey, I'm playing on a cruise ship. Do you and the kids want to come? So it was really fun because a lot of the bands were there just chilling with their families. Phoenix was a little trooper because she had, this was kind of right after we played Warped Tour in the summer, a couple months later, and she got really sick from, sunstroke. So she was still feeling the effects of that, but on the ship, I don't know what happened, but you got really seasick, and she was trying to party and keep up with everybody else. She killed it for all the sets that we played, but for our birthday, she literally just played our set and then had to just go lie down. Yeah. So everybody was just buying 2 drinks instead of 1. So I was just drinking for 2 that night, thanks to Phoenix being sick.
You're welcome. Anytime.
That's not always a bad thing. So,
is doing it on the cruise, is that more or less? How much downtime do you have compared to the normal tour?
Oh, I'd say more downtime because they have their own people that do the merch and everything. So we didn't really have to go hang out at the merch that much, and setting up. Pretty much, all our gear was already down by where the stage was. So, I don't know, there's less things you have to do. You basically just have to show up and play.
And there was only 1 signing for the whole, 5 days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So usually, on Warped Tour, you'll do, a couple signings a day, and then, all the other stuff, promoting your set and everything like that. On the cruise, we really didn't have to do that because everybody already knew when the set times were, well in advance. So, yeah, it was pretty chill. I would definitely love to do it again.
I will say, playing drums and then feeling the stage kind of pitching as the boat's pitching, that was really, really odd. But it was fun. It was cool.
do you guys prefer, festival sets or headliner sets?
They're different. I like the festival vibe because there's always a lot of people there, and it's just a really cool atmosphere, I guess. But I feel like playing in a venue is really a different vibe. It's a lot more intimate feeling, and, you have more control over the sound and the lights and everything like that. So I guess it just depends, what kind of experience you want. If you just want a really fun, fast, throw-and-go set with, an energetic crowd, then the festival is good for that. Or if you want a really vibey, kind of intimate set, then doing it in a venue is good for that. So to answer your question, it legit just depends on how I feel that day.
Okay, so moving on to some stuff about your old album and maybe new stuff coming out. You said before Synesthesia came out that it had some horror movie influences. So what was the inspiration behind the stuff that's coming out on stuff that you're working on now or Remission?
Somebody did their research. This is awesome. We're such peak for horror movies. Like
we are
peak
both
over
very
it.
big fans of the band, so.
And also horror movies.
Yeah.
You know, the more that you're like a fan of the artist, I feel like the interview is just better.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Because
agree.
you know those cool little things that we love to talk about. Horror movies being one of them. I think horror is always going to in some way influence what we do. But I think maybe with the new music that we're making now, it's not like solely influenced by one vibe. So with Synesthesia, we really were influenced by this 1970s horror movie called Suspiria. Because the imagery, you know that movie?
Yeah, I love that
movie. It's like a cult classic. So good. Have you seen the remake of it?
No, not yet.
Dude, go and see it. It's so good. I love them both. Like, I can't get too distracted because I legit could talk about that forever. But I think the new music is sort of influenced by a lot. We've kind of honed our skills a little more, and kind of, I think, our songwriting abilities and our lyrics and everything. We're able to like capture a vibe every single song. So I'd say it's influenced, like the newest single that we're working on. The lyrics are legit about the Breakfast Club, and we tried to make the song sound like a song that you would hear in the movie The Breakfast Club. So it's just kind of got like a cinematic element. We're filming the music video soon. I'm really excited to like put all the pieces together and to share it with everybody so that you know what I'm talking about.
That's
But,
really
yeah,
cool that
it's,
you like tie in a lot of your writing to different movies, whether it's the same genre or not.
Yeah.
Did you have that
Well,
kind of
we-
theme with like Becoming and For Now, or was that just the movie thing kind of started on Synesthesia? Because I never knew with the old ones.
Yeah, not so much with the old ones. I mean, the old ones obviously were like influenced by other things, but just, I don't know, we love movies and like we watch a lot of movies, so it's kind of hard not to be inspired by something you love, you know, whether it's a movie or a person or whatever. So
I feel like with the older stuff, like especially on For Now, we were 16 when we wrote that EP, and when it came out, we were 17. So we were just so stoked. We were just little babies. Like, we were so stoked to be in the studio and to have a record deal. And I think you can hear the hope for the future. You know, this is sort of when we were at our most, like, oh my God, anything could happen, you know, like. And then when Becoming came out, we had already done, like, our first tours, because we hadn't toured when we wrote For Now. We'd never toured before. So I think Becoming, you can hear a little bit of growth there because we're a little older. We kind of see some of the realities of the industry a little more that we didn't see when we were 17. And you can hear for the first time in our music an element of, like, self-doubt, like, oh, am I doing my best? Am I doing everything that I should be doing? And then it's just, from there on out, like, it gets angstier and angstier as you go.
So how far are you guys along in the making of the new album?
It's kind of weird right now because we're not even really sure if we're going to put out an album, an EP, or just like a collection of songs or like whatever you want to call it. We're still kind of working that out, but we've got a lot of songs done, just pretty much tweaking them and figuring out the best place for them.
Like, the plan is to release a bunch of singles, because I feel like that's kind of a more modern way of going about things these days, you know? Like, my main beef with just releasing an album all at once is there's so many songs that just totally get swept under the rug and looked over. But if you release things as singles, then each song has its moment to shine, and it kind of tells the same story but in a different way. Like, you keep people's attention and you can kind of evolve as you see fit instead of, you know, putting all your eggs in one basket with one album. So right now we have the first 3 singles finished recording, and we're mixing them now and putting out some new stuff in May. So I'm like, it's gonna start happening soon. It's going down.
That idea of wanting to put out more singles and not really the album, I feel like that's really similar to like what All Time Low did with their last album.
Yeah.
Like, there were only 10 songs, but 5 of them were singles.
True, yeah. No, I don't know, it's more motivating for us too, I feel like, because while we're writing, we know that something could come out in a matter of months versus like, oh, maybe in 2 years when the album's ready it'll come out, you know? So,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just a different way of doing it, but
And every
people's attention
song,
spans. Yeah, exactly.
like every song has to be amazing, or else, like, why?
Oh,
yeah, exactly. They all have to be single worthy, you know?
So do you
Like
think
a lot of bands are doing that.
do you think with the way you're approaching it this time, do you think you're getting it done quicker or slower than Synesthesia was?
That's a good question. We don't know.
I want to say quicker, but okay, guys, if it were up to Phoenix and me, these songs would already have been out like a couple months ago. It's literally just like things, you know, our label obviously needs time to get things together, and I think the two of us are so impatient when it comes to releasing music. We just always want to put stuff out. So there's so many factors that like hold releases back and just like delay things. But we kind of decided this year we don't really, this is kind of bad to say, but we're kind of just going to be like, we just want to do our own thing. If we need to make our own music videos and, you know, plan our own releases, we're just going to do that. We're done waiting to release music.
So, sorry if there's some like really crappy DIY stuff happening in the future, but
The thing is,
probably
like,
won't happen.
the two of us really respect that stuff more. Like, we end up enjoying that a lot more than
Okay,
stuff
good.
released on labels. Like, have you guys heard of a band called The Rex?
The Rex, yeah.
Yeah, we love them, and they're just all DIY, all indie, and it's just, they're great.
They record in a barn.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's awesome. Yeah.
It's a good way to learn about your own craft. Like, Fina and I have learned so much in the past 2 years since she started, you know, producing more. I've just recently started getting into, you know, like directing our music videos and planning those out. And the more DIY you are, the more you learn how much work goes into things, and you kind of respect the process a lot more. So I'm glad that we get the chance to do that now in our career. I wish we would have done it earlier in our career.
Okay, so here's a big one that I know we've been wondering for a little while. What was the inspiration on or reasoning behind moving into the style of music heard on Synesthesia and Remission and departing from the style in For Now and Becoming?
Man, that's honestly like a really good question. And I don't even know if we fully know ourselves the answer. But I guess I would say, obviously, like, you're probably not the same as you were when you were a teenager. And the same goes for us. And, you know, we're not listening to the same things or writing about the same things that we did when we were teenagers. And so, I don't know, I'd say a lot of it's probably just natural growth that would have happened, you know, just with getting older. So it's more just kind of like we'd like to try and make music that we feel like we can experiment with, because all our favorite bands like Radiohead and like, I don't know, In the World, there's a bunch of bands that from album to album, they really take risks and try to do something different. So I think we're just trying to kind of evolve in that way.
The hardest part is finding what are the elements of our music that make us unique and that make us Courage My Love, and what are the elements that we need to keep growing and improving and evolving. So I think, like, for the first time with these new songs that we're about to release in the spring, I think we've finally sort of found that balance of, you know, what makes us who we are and what we can do to evolve to the next phase. It was like Synesthesia, I love that record, but it was such an experimental time. I felt like, you know, like Remission is definitely the poppiest of the pop spectrum that we have right now, and we're definitely adding some more like alternative elements back into the music. But I think it was important that we did that because we kind of ripped the Band-Aid off, and now if we want to write a pop song, we can write a pop song. If we want to write a rock song, we can write a rock song. Yeah.
I feel like the bands that have that flexibility put out the best stuff, because then they're able to just actually do what they want, and they're more creative with everything at that point. But also bands that take risks end up putting out albums that I enjoy more personally, because it's just different from what everything you're hearing.
You're also not getting yourself stuck into a hole. So, like, you won't run into the whole, oh, like, this doesn't sound like what they used to do, so I'm not going to be a fan anymore.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And it's like, I understand for sure when people are more nostalgic to maybe your old stuff, and then they kind of, I don't know, for me anyway, like, certain albums remind me of certain times in my life. So I understand when people are like, oh, I miss, like, the Becoming, like, album cycle or, like, whatever. But, you know, like, that album's always going to be there. People can go back and listen to it if they want.
Yeah, it's not like we took it off Spotify. Like, it's still there. You can always listen to it if you want.
You guys just announced that there's a new song coming out, All Night, that you guys are featured in. What's going on with that whole thing?
It's really freaking exciting for us because we've never really done features before, so this would be probably our first real official feature. And it's dope because it's basically a song Mercedes wrote, and then we kind of collabed with our friend Jonathan, who produced it and kind of took it to the next level. And yeah, we're really proud of it. It's definitely something different, and we're really honored to be on that feature.
The reason that it's coming out under Jonathan Stein is because with his production and everything he did to it, it's definitely his vibe. It's his style. I just, like, wrote the song, like, the lyrics and melody and everything for it. But, you know, I knew going into it that, you know, I don't think it was a Courage My Love song.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's so exciting because I got to use my voice in a different way that I've never really used it before. We wrote lyrics that are, like, kind of sexy lyrics and stuff. And, you know, Courage My Love, like, we've been a band since we were teenagers, and there are certain things we always kind of felt like we couldn't write about or that we maybe shouldn't write about. But this is, like, the first time, you know, I'm 25 now, and I'm finally just now writing about sex and stuff like that. And it's like, I sometimes I think I forget that our fans grow with us. Like, we probably have a lot of 25-year-old fans, and it's not like, you know, it's not weird to talk about that stuff anymore. So I'm really excited for everybody to hear it, and it's just going to be kind of a cool little treat.
Is it just you singing on it, or is it you and Phoenix?
It's both of us. Sage does the leads, and then I do those sweet, sweet harms.
Nice. Okay, so I got some real quick rapid-fire ones left to finish this out. Favorite band you've ever toured with?
Favorite band we've ever toured with? No, so hard. I really enjoyed touring with Boston Manor. They're a really cool band and are really good guys. Do you have any?
I mean, As It Is are just the most gracious headliners we've ever toured with, I think. So
I figured one of you
have
would
to
say
say
As It Is.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're great.
All right, favorite city to play?
Oh, no. Damn. Favorite city to play? I really like playing in Paris, France. I don't know why. The people are really awesome that turn up. So I appreciate Paris.
Favorite food?
PA, obviously. What?
Favorite food?
Favorite food? Sushi, hands down.
Yep, sushi. That's it.
Okay, last one. Who's the messiest member in your band on tour?
Oh, God. I'm going to self-nominate. I feel like it's probably me. So, yeah, Phoenix here, the messy one. What's up? It's me.
It's probably you.
It's me.
At least you can live with it.
It might be me.
Oh,
We're both messy.
Well, hey, thanks for calling in. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us and tell us a little bit about what's new and what's coming out soon.
yeah, no, thanks so much for the interview. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you guys so much. We're so stoked to come in and play and see what California, PA is all about.
Yeah, you can catch Courage My Love at Underground Cafe at Cow U, 9 p.m. to midnight. They'll be playing 9:30 to 10:30 on April 25th. So come check them out. Come have a good time. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see you guys again.
Yeah, you're sick. Likewise.
Can't wait either. Thanks for the interview. You guys rock.
Yeah, awesome.
Rock. We can't wait to see you.